How can you determine which NBA combo outperforms the lot? The best player combinations are determined by their compatibility, team tactics, positional balance, the people supporting them, and of course, inherent talent. Making a concise list of the best overall duos was hard, but bear with our list of the NBA's best duos right now. First, at number 6, Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. The pair from the Dubs was the very last to be chosen because their plus 10.5 score was only 1 point short of the number 5 pair. Golden State's 4-time champion teammates would have made the top 5 if we had disqualified participants from the previous season. For what it's worth, they're comfortably dominant with their chemistry and are on the same wavelength. No team of colleagues complement each other's strengths better than they do, and none are better at covering each other's backs. The lack of balance is the main justification for Curry and Green missing the number 1 spot. Curry seems to carry the duo mostly, though. Anyone who saw the Warriors' most recent championship run saw Steph completely dominate several series, while Green's efficiency wavered. Nevertheless, in most of these combinations, one teammate will outperform the other, and a decade's worth of data suggests Curry and Green are the hardest of all to beat. Next up at number 5, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. These guys took the place of one of our favorite duos on the list. Even though Kawhi Leonard and Paul George haven't played together in almost a year, ranking them together among the top 5 feels appropriate. The Los Angeles Clippers featured 2 of the top shooters in the NBA. This position on the list may understate how effective George and Leonard can be when they work together. Since Leonard missed the entire previous season because of an ACL tear, we used his run from 2020 to 2021 for him here. With a combined total of plus 11.9, these two would have placed 1 spot higher if we also consider George's plus 5.0 score from 2020 to 2021, the season he last teamed up with Kawhi. Leonard was more accurate from the field and the three-point arc when he was on the court with George 2 seasons ago than when he was by himself. He had more assists per 100 possessions and fewer turnovers. George also had improved field goal and three-point shooting, and when he shared the court with Leonard, his assist-to-turnover ratio was also better. Unsurprisingly, that connection resulted in an absurd plus 18.1 overall rating during their time together. Leonard and George are among the most lethal two-man units when they're both healthy, which is hopefully the case for the upcoming season. Moving on to number 4, Joel Embiid and James Harden. Although the sample size is limited and Joel Embiid is carrying a far heavier burden than James Harden, the results are difficult to dispute. This is primarily because of Harden's postseason 2022 decline, which came after a pattern of him missing out on big games. Even in a postseason that most people will remember for Harden playing inexcusably bad, Harden and Embiid were the Philadelphia 76ers' most productive two-man show. In the 2022 postseason, the 76ers' plus 5.4 net rating, with Embiid and Harden on the court, was the team's best mark among pairs that played at least 300 minutes together. For comparison, the winning Warriors' plus 4.9 net rating ended up being the highest of all the postseason teams. The news that Harden and Embiid are superior to the Warriors is surprising, but true. The superstars of the Philadelphia 76ers undoubtedly have more to prove in the postseason than just about anybody else will cover. The notion that they can't be successful at the highest level might be a little exaggerated. Harden and Embiid completely dominated during their brief time together during the regular season, racking up an outrageous plus 15.9 net rating that ranked second in the league among pairings that logged at least 600 minutes together. Not that those who have given up on Harden's game or Embiid's ability to stay upright for an entire postseason will care, but they were the league's most effective pick-and-roll team. More on number 3, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. The duo seems to be here for a good time, but not for a long time. KD and Kyrie, who only played 44 games together over 3 seasons with the Brooklyn Nets, were unlucky, considering that even the good times were rare for them. In that time, they only had 1 playoff series victory. Why then are Irving and Durant on our list, considering the high likelihood that they won't be Brooklyn teammates for much longer? Pure talent alone. Although it's true that the data is based on a very small sample, the talent last season produced a greater combined EPM than all but 2 other duos. We can't exclude claimed Irving and Durant after they amassed a staggering plus 13.1 net rating in the 17 games they played together. This pair's issue was never on the court because of personalities, vaccine stances, and injuries. The Brooklyn experiment didn't take off as well as people expected. Neither of them displayed any signs of skill deterioration or health problems that would limit their availability on the opening day of the 2022-23 season. Irving and Durant will still be regarded as one of the best hitters ever, even if they end up playing for the Nets in some strange and unexpected turn of events. Their position on our list can serve as a send-off for them in the likely scenario that they end up parting ways. Up next at number 2, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Although Jamal Murray hasn't played for 15 months, there are indications that upon his comeback for the 2022-23 season, he will reclaim his pre-injury form. When Murray returns, he will team up with Nikola Jokic, the two-time MVP, to form the leading edge of a likely contender for the number 1 spot. This past season, Jokic outperformed everyone in EPM, finishing 1.2 points ahead of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and 1.2 points ahead of Stephen Curry and Draymond Green's total. Although Murray will undoubtedly carry a lighter load on and off the court, the 25-year-old guard is no pushover and can carry his own weight. He was one of 9 players to average at least 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, while making over 40% of his three-point attempts. And that, too, is his last healthy season. If Murray hasn't quite proven himself to be a superstar yet, don't be shocked if he does this season. Murray also earns extra credit for defending Jokic from critics, as he criticized Complex Sports for joking about him. He asked them what more they wanted the player to do, as he performs all the tasks for a championship team and is voted the most valuable player every time he goes on the court. It appears his critics will only be impressed if he dunks from between his legs while doing a somersault. Murray's words nonetheless highlight the strength of their relationship, although Jokic should be unaffected by criticism given his 2 MVP awards and the largest contract in NBA history. Finally, at number 1, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jrue Holiday. Technically, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray were tied with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Jrue Holiday with a collective plus 12.6 EPM. However, several factors made it simple to break the tie in favor of our choice duo. The fact that Antetokounmpo and Holiday have won a championship together, as opposed to Jokic and Murray, is what matters most. Lifting a trophy at the finale of a successful title run is the best way to validate a collaboration. In addition, unlike Murray, we don't need to use Holiday's EPM to reach our combined total. Hopes for Holiday's form to resurface are unnecessary, because he just had what was perhaps the best season of his illustrious career, which included personal best in shooting, win shares, and value over replacement players. While giving Kawhi Leonard and Paul George their due credit, Antetokounmpo and Holiday are the finest defensive pairing, while the latter has over 1,200 career steals and 4 all-defensive nods in the previous 5 years. The former has a Defensive Player of the Year award and has consistently made the first team on defense since 2018-19. Despite these accomplishments, according to his competitors, Holiday is still underappreciated. Andre Iguodala called him the league's top defender and one of the best defenders of all time. It's difficult to disagree with Holiday's supporters after witnessing him make game-saving plays year after year consistently. And consistency is what makes or breaks a defender, at least according to the criteria we've selected for this list. Antetokounmpo and Holiday win the title fair and square. It's simple to acknowledge them as the best team in the league, given their history of joint success, individual achievement, and EPM supremacy. That's a wrap for this video, and thanks for watching. What do you think of our picks for the NBA's best superstar duos right now? And who did we miss in your opinion? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.